Tino, Lane, thank you very much for welcoming us into your lovely home this morning. And we're here just to kind of get some feedback on your experience with REEF.
Well, the first question is, are you happy with the result, right?
Yeah.
And we're very pleased with the result. And then the second question is, how traumatic was it getting to that result?
Yeah.
We were on time and on budget. You can't ask for better than that, right?
Okay, great.
The other test, I think, when it comes to construction is change orders.
Yes, sure, certainly.
That's where you can be nickeled and dimed to death or worse. What I was particularly pleased with was how thorough the planning process was.
Great.
A lot of the alternatives all were laid out for us. We discussed them thoroughly. We got, good objective advice about them. So all those kinds of decisions were made ahead of time.
It was amazing. We didn't have many change orders, and part of it was the planning process was really good.
If I'm remembering correctly, 2 of those change orders saved us money.
Actually, we went from more kitchen cabinets to kitchen shelving and got enough money, and then you guys told us, hey, you know what? You've just saved money, so we could go to granite countertops, which we hadn't been in the plan because we didn't think we could afford it.
Yeah.
So that was really nice. That was kind of a nice surprise.
Yeah, sure. I mean, we're not on a huge lot. We've got a lot of square footage here for this footprint. How did you find REEF's ability to get through that permitting maze?
I mean, we had to make some compromises because the lot was so small. So we lost our garage,
right?
Which we, kind of did reluctantly, but that was in order to get a screened-in porch.
Yeah, which is really quite nice.
Right, which is really nice, and everybody who was here this summer just lived out on that porch.
Right.
So we knew that we'd have to make some compromises because of the small size of the lot.
Yeah.
But REEF helped us make them and showed us what the trade-offs were. So again, there were no surprises.
Yeah, that's great to hear. One of the things that we spend a lot of time on is putting a lot of effort into the specifications and the planning before we begin construction. So you knew exactly how much money your home was going to cost before we started building it. Is that correct?
That's exactly right.
That is right.
And you stayed in the budget. That was the big deal.
Yeah.
Is that the budget was set, and that's how much we were willing to spend, and that's how much we ended up spending, and that's really great.
Yeah, and the design of the home focused in on that budget, because that's important.
Yeah.
Many people come to us and say, this is our budget, and we design that home to that budget, which is really, I think, unusual and very helpful.
Yeah, and we didn't get any, we had one experience in the Boston suburbs many years ago where the builder kept saying, well, of course you want this. And we kept saying, no, we don't want this because it's adding too much money. And I think REEF was very sensitive to the fact that we were building a seasonal cottage.
Yeah.
We didn't need, there were certain things that in a permanent home you'd need that we didn't need here. Like we didn't need really big closets.
Yeah.
And we didn't need a lot of storage in the kitchen.
Yeah.
So there were aspects to designing this home that REEF was very sensitive to.
Mm-hmm. But this is a beautiful year-round home.
Oh yeah, you could live in it year-round.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous. So you might recommend REEF to folks that are interested in building a home here in Cape Cod.
Definitely.
Definitely would.
The horror stories, first of all, that you hear from people who try to sort of patch it together themselves. I mean, clearly there was an advantage in REEF, you having all your subcontractors, being able to get your subcontractors in on time.
Right.
And stuff, because we had renters coming in June, and this needed to be finished and furnished in June. In fact, we were not nearly as efficient in putting it back together as you guys were in building it.
Right. So we committed to an occupancy date.
Yeah.
And met that date.
You met the date. Yeah. You met the date. And that was really surprising. Everybody else, they said to us, you're going to be in when? And we said, we're going to be in June 15th. And they said, oh, yeah, right.
Yeah. And you were.
And we were, yeah. We were in May 15th. We had renters in here June 15th.
Yeah.
So the house was all put together.
That's fabulous.
And open for our renters and then for our family.
Yeah, it's great to be able to guarantee both price and occupancy, and we do that. That's what we do.
Yeah.
So it's really nice to hear you share with me that works so well.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Great. Well, thank you very much.
Well, thank
Really
you.
appreciate it.